Wondering what's the difference between an occupational therapist and a physiotherapist? Because they look like they're doing the same thing. Hi there, it's Neesha from Sydney Kids Physio. In today's video, I'm jumping in to share with you the difference between an occupational therapist and a physiotherapist. So here at Sydney Kids Physio, we are pediatric physiotherapists. And we often meet families who say, oh, what do you do different from the occupational therapist? Because they look like they're doing running, jumping, and hopping too. So here's the difference. An occupational therapist traditionally is trained in upper arm function. So that means that they work on handwriting, they work on dressing, so doing buttons and laces, they are trained with toileting and personal cares. That's historically what occupational therapists do. Physiotherapists work with the lower limbs, so your legs. We work on learning to move, and that means rolling, crawling, pulling to stand, walking, running, hopping, jumping. Now, the truth is, as we evolve, babies learn to move in those gross, bigger movements first before they can come down to working the finer muscles in the hands. And we all understand that for the arms and hands to work, you must have strong core muscles, shoulder girdles, and we need hip girdles, and that allows the movements beyond, so shoulder, elbow, wrist, and hands. Now, to build core strength, one of the easiest way is to do the gross motor skills. That's why you might see your occupational therapist in attempt to build stronger core muscles and shoulder muscles to allow the upper arm function. They might be teaching your little one to crawl. You might see that they are teaching your little one to sit, because if they cannot sit, they're not going to be able to use your hands. That said, over time, there seems to be overlap because we cannot divide a person up into only arms and legs. So the difference you'll see with a pediatric physiotherapist is our training is grounded on those physiological movements, biomechanics. So you might see that when we approach, how do we help a child to move better? We are looking at different aspects of the movement patterns. And that probably is where it's a little bit more different for occupational therapists. So when a child is jumping on their toes isn't functional and biomechanically not good for their leg bones, their hips, and it's just not the right pattern for jumping. So as physiotherapists, we would say, no, that jumping is not good. In fact, we rather they not jump. Now, as pediatric physiotherapists, our background is more about the musculoskeletal anatomy. We are able to manage respiratory problems. We're able to manage with orthopedic problems like casting the foot to correct their tiptoe walking. We are working on muscles, and so we would use radio shockwave therapy to reduce muscle spasticity or muscle tightness. So there is a bigger array of things that we would do to manage those muscles, ligaments, joints, and spinal misalignment or abnormal movements that we see. So the big difference is how we approach problem solving a movement disorder that we see compared to what an occupational therapist would do. Now, that said, occupational therapists are also very, very unique in their expertise. They are usually quite skilled with sensory processing disorders. So you will see that they will carry out sensory profile, and they tend to manage those sensory profile in terms of providing sensory diets for a little one, particularly a little one with autism. So both expertise have their unique areas, and what's more important is understanding what's your child's need. So if you've got a little one who you're concerned about, what you should do is to speak to one of our expert pediatric physiotherapists. we would carry out a full assessment on your little one and would be able to point you in the right direction of what their strengths and weaknesses are and what's the best therapist for their needs. If you would like to speak to one of our expert pediatric physiotherapists here at Sydney Kids Physio, the number to ring is 02-9790-4233. And if you know somebody out there who has a little one who's struggling with their movement and they're delayed, why don't you like and share this video with them? Until next time, have a beautiful day. Bye.